Again, in today's video, I'm going to discuss about the what is the laser focus versus toxic perfectionism, and finding the healthy balance when is to achieving our goals, ambitions, and the desired outcomes. And do you struggle with the finding the line between striving for our excellence, our efficiency, and the optimal use of our skills and ability to get the things done, but instead of we trapped in the loop of perfectionism. And this is very common to all the knowledge workers, or you are high ambitious or lifelong learner, and you always try to be the best. And because in this video I'm going to explore the key difference between the being laser focused or focused way and the toxic perfectionism, and providing the practical tips to help you achieve our next goal without sacrificing our sanity and our well-being. So the number one factor is the first thing which we are looking for, or which is differentiated the focus and the perfectionism, is our motivation is basically what is the thing that drive us to actually do the work, or actually uh, go away from our day-to-day daily easy and comfortable effortful manner, instead of being in comfort zone, or being or doing the same kind of stuff which is not even motivating me, not deriving us, and ultimately draining our energy. So we should know our the best drive, or the motivation behind our action. So, and the laser discipline driven by the desire of growth, the improvement, the transformation, or to quest to change, and achieving the meaningful goals, which is making you the making you the inspired or the greater version of ourselves. And where the toxic perfectionism is the debt fueled by the fear of judgment, and fear of missing out, or need to prove self-worth, or need to prove the our abilities in front of other people or the other circumstances. And number two is the focus. The what is the laser discipline when it's come to focus and concentrated effort, or the undivided attention on a specific task, or the uh, activity in our hand, and toward the specific and well defined or the clear goal, where we know that the in the second when in the second attempt or the first attempt, this is I'm going to do. This kind of clarity will always lead to the laser discipline, instead of being a total toxic in being perfectionism. And the toxic perfectionism is where we have obsessive towards attention to detail, lot of options and information gatherings and accumulating the things will lead to the perfectionism, often at the extent of our bigger picture. So this is the two basic difference between laser discipline and toxic perfectionism when it's come to having a radical focus or the laser like focus. Number three is the flexibility. When it's come to flexibility over rigidity, and what is the sharp distinction line between the laser discipline and the toxic perfectionism. So when it's come to flexibility, adaptable and open to adjusting the need and plans when it is necessary and when it is required. This is the good sign to be in, because if we are so much rigid in our ideology, in our philosophy, or our belief level, where we are not able to agree with the other team members or the other factors, and solely and lonely we deriving our actions and decision based on just for the simple underlying belief. And if there is a demand of there is a demand to be change something or to do some alternative option, at that time if you are not become flexible, then it will the chances of achieving our goal or the finishing our task is become longer than the usual time. And while being rigid and inflexible, leading to frustration, anxiety, and when things don't go as our plan. So this is the basic difference between laser discipline and being flexibility. And number four is the self compassion. As soon as as far as the self compassion is needed, there is there also we have to consider the what is the laser discipline when it's come to self compassion, and what is the toxic perfectionism in doing the self compassion work. Because in a disciplined manner, if we are practicing or we having the need of the self compassion when the plans or the actions is not out desirable, then allowing and acknowledging our mistakes or the error or the setbacks or the failure, and viewing them as a learning lessons or the feedback loop in order to make some changes and to do something else. And instead of doing that, if we are doing with a very harsh and very self criticism and very negative self talk, and responsible for every imperfection action we have taken so far, and we are becoming so much hard on ourselves that this is the thing you should not being you should not be assumed to be as such what we are experiencing, what I am experiencing right now. So being self compassion with in a disciplined manner, it means that understanding ourselves and caring ourselves like a kid in like a reparenting to ourselves. And to in order to do that, we must have to avoid the way or the path which is inclined toward the toxic perfectionism. Number five, the standards. Because having standards and building standard or setting standard is the key thing in your solo journey or the individual journey. And how the laser discipline will help us to set the standards, like set the high but the achievable and sustainable standard, striving for the excellence or the our full potential or the ability, while achieving the standards through the toxic perfectionism. It means this unrealistic, unattainable, and standard leading to constant feeling of worry and inadequacy and anxiety will not set you apart. And we always fallen in the trap of self-judgmental, self-criticism, and unworthiness or the rude to ourselves. So this is the all by one distinguished parameter when it's come to setting standard in a healthy, in a laser discipline way, or in a way of toxic perfectionism. So choice is our always our us. So which path we are embarking or with which path we are taking on to in order to do our work in a very fruitful manner, where our mental well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, and our spiritual well-being get not get disturbed or not get harmed at all. So the number six is progress versus the outcome. So when it's come to progress versus outcome, there is a two way, and which is the thing I'm explaining. That is, how can we be progressive and achieve the desired outcome by being a laser discipline, or by being a toxic perfectionism, and what how can we go away or to the goal, or go closer to the goal. So focusing on the consistent progress, efforts, small wins, and the smaller step, and celebrating all together, and showing these wins in a daily progress. So our confidence is our top, our abilities is our top, and the sense of well-being, sense of self-confidence, self-respect, and self-worth is in a higher note. And while we working hard and checking progress and outcome with a factor of like a perfectionism, a fixation on the end results, only on the outcomes, often overlooking the journey and the personal growth and transformation altogether. So this is the uh, this is not the highway path to be just conquering or achieving the goal itself. Number 10, number 7, the emotional response. How do we emotionally respond to on a daily basis? If we are responding our emotion, knowing, understanding, and processing our emotions in a very well organized, laser discipline way, it means that maintaining a healthy emotional balance and boundary, even in the face of challenges and interruptions, will making us working. slowly but steadily in a good way. But if we operate from the out of desperate way or out of toxic perfectionism, and we are prone to anxiety, stress, and mental illness and emotional burnout due to the constant pressure of being available or constant pressure to be one among the top. So this is by altogether all these coping mechanisms are very helpful to being a laser focus and avoiding the toxic perfectionism.